I always wanted to be a comic. Ever since I was a kid, ever since I was like 9 years old, I was a big fan of Pryor, a big fan of Eddie and everybody. And I always told myself, I'm gonna be a comic, I'm gonna be a comic. And 13 years ago, I made that decision and just went for it. And now this has just been great. Ever since the Tonight Show, dude, it's just first ever performance. It was just a little hole in the wall, and I went up. I remember I wrote 3 pages of jokes, and right when I got on stage, dude, I forgot everything. I don't remember one damn thing, dude. My mouth went to chalk. I bombed so bad. It took me about 5 more years just to get the balls to get back on stage again. I was getting my hair done, making the guy laugh, the stylist laughed, and he was like, it's like, dude, you're hilarious. And for some reason, I just said it, I've never told anyone I want to be a comic before, but for some reason, I just looked at him and was like, yeah, man, I want to be a comic. And he was like, cool, man, this coffee shop does open mics every Wednesday. And it was like I was stuck. There was nothing I could do. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, all right. Went there on Wednesday, and that was it. It was over with. I found my calling, man. That's when I finally made that decision to move to LA. I was at Buzzy's Cafe, and my sister be front row. Make sure you save us a spot. I'm like, Wayne, it's wide open. No one's here. Well, I want to sit in the front. You can sit in the back and still see me. One of the first things they say is when they find out that I'm half white, they're like, oh, you're not Filipino. My mother and her side of the family was pretty much the ones that raised me. You know what I mean? And all Filipinos, all her sisters, they all took care of me. That's where I got Joe Coy from. My aunt, my Auntie Evelyn called me Joe Coy, and that's where it came from, and I'm Filipino, you know what I mean? More than anyone else out there, so, and I like to talk about that side because that's the reason why I'm doing stand-up, you know what I mean? We're funny people. My mom's hilarious. I like to talk about her and the things we did when we were growing up. I think the best comedy is the truth, that real shit. Just talking about life. There's that night at the Laugh Factory called Chocolate Sundays, which is primarily a black night, and I go up there and do the same shit, and it just right across the board, they get it. And it's so funny because I watch these new comics coming up, and it's like, oh, I'm doing a black room, so I gotta act black. And it's like, what are you doing? No, you don't. And even other black comics are like, what the fuck are you doing? Exactly. Just be yourself. Doesn't matter who you're talking to. Everyone's gonna get it. And that's what I love about comedy, man. Obviously, my career's taken off. Dude, if you need anything, just let me know. I'll get someone to help you.